Hi guys, it's the Island Girl, and I'm back with another one for you. And today we're checking out Visit America Without Leaving Britain, the JFK Memorial. When I saw this, I was like, what? What? This don't make no sense. How would you get there? You know what I mean? Like, visit America without leaving Britain. How? How can you do that? How is that possible? All right, so we're going to get right into this one. So if you're new to my channel, it's your first time here, come on in, right back, put a smile on your face, and enjoy. To all my regular, schmegler, day one, sweetie pie, sweetie poos, come on in, right back, put a smile on your face, and enjoy. I'm eager. Let's get into this video. Here we go, now.
If I was to tell you that you can visit the United States without leaving England, you might think that I'm not quite the full shilling. But it's perfectly true. If you step through this wooden gate deep in the English countryside, you magically enter sovereign American territory, and you don't need a passport or a visa to do so, or to be questioned by immigration officials.
Hold up. Did he say you can go there? You don't need a passport? You don't need no pass or anything from immigration to get there? I know we just started, but okay, let's continue. Let's continue. All right.
Legally, once through the gate, you are on US soil. The reason for this interesting little anomaly is John F. Kennedy. On the 22nd of November 1963, President Kennedy was brutally and publicly slain in Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas. With Kennedy died the hopes and dreams of not only many Americans, but of many people all over the world.
Oh.
Kennedy was a much adored, revered and respected international statesman who appeared to have been doing much to change America and the world for the better, but was cut down in the prime of his life.
Freedom of information is a fundamental human right and the touchstone of all the freedoms to which the United Nations is consecrated. We welcome the view of others. We seek a free flow of information across national boundaries and oceans, across iron curtains and stone walls. We are not afraid to entrust the American people with unpleasant facts, foreign ideas, alien philosophies, and competitive values. For a nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood in an open market is a nation that is afraid of its people.
Many people believe that Kennedy's assassination marked a sea change in American politics, and that if he and his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, who was also cruelly assassinated in 1968 when he was running for president, if both had lived, America and the world might today be very different places. Who knows? What we do know is JFK's death caused a massive outpouring of grief and sorrow worldwide, the likes of which haven't been seen since, and also a very strong desire by many countries to honor his memory and his legacy.
Wow. See, I wasn't born back then, and to be honest, I really don't know anything much about JFK. To be honest with you guys, I did not know that he had such, what's the word I'm looking for? That he was loved by so many different nations. I had no clue. Just looking at this and seeing so many different newspaper outlets in so many different locations and saying that they're mourning his death, that means he stood for something. So let me know in the comment section, guys. What is it about JFK that stood out to you guys, and as a different from the US itself? What is it about him that you guys loved so much? Like I said, I know nothing about him, so let's continue.
Britain was, of course, no exception. In 1965, Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II gifted a symbolic 1 acre of English woodland to the United States to erect upon it a permanent memorial to Kennedy's memory that would stand forever upon U.S. soil as a beacon of free speech, democracy, and hope.
Oh, wow.
The site chosen for the memorial was incredibly symbolic. Runnymede in the English county of Surrey, just west of London. Runnymede is the place where, in 1215, King John reluctantly agreed to the Magna Carta, or Great Charter, paving the way for the idea that kings should have some limitations placed upon their powers, and also be guided by a council of wise men, the latter eventually morphing over hundreds of years into a parliament, and eventually something called representative democracy. The full name of this agreement from 1215 was Magna Carta Libertatum, or Great Charter of Freedoms, the freedoms of the individual against royal power. In the beginning, these freedoms only applied to the barons, who forced the Magna Carta on King John, but over hundreds of years would develop into individual freedoms and rights for all. The Magna Carta is said to have laid the foundations of democracy in the Western world, and would go on to heavily influence the American colonists and the formation of the U.S. Constitution. As famous English judge Lord Denning described the Magna Carta, it is, quote, the greatest constitutional document of all times, the foundation of the freedom of the individual against the arbitrary authority of the despot, end quote.
That right there, I agree with. I 100% agree that no one person should hold such power that he's above the law or he's above all rule and he has the last say so. So that I can appreciate. Not only that, the area that was gifted to him by the Queen is so beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it is breathtaking. So with that said, from what I hear, basically he was adored by the Queen based on the kind of caliber of man that he was. Interesting. Let's continue.
Small wonder then that the JFK Memorial was placed on land gifted by Britain to America, next to where the Magna Carta was agreed to in 1215.
Oh!
Now, some people are under the misguided notion that the US acre of England at Runnymede is not, in fact, the only US soil in Britain today. What about US air bases, of which there are several today dotted around southern, eastern, and central England?
Oh!
In fact, all of the US bases remain British territory, and in fact belong to the Royal Air Force and are simply loaned to the US for their use, a hang-up from World War II. That's why all US bases in Britain carry the prefix RAF. For example, RAF Mildenhall and RAF Lakenheath, both of these not too far from where I live.
Hey.
The bases come under US military law and rules, but remain part of Britain.
Got
Okay,
it.
but what about the US Embassy in London, or the US consulates around Britain? They must be US soil, surely. No, not according to both English law and the US Congress. The embassy or consulate is the territory of the host nation, in this case Britain. But the embassy or consulate represents a sovereign state, in this case the United States, and agreed international diplomatic rules mean that no one can enter the embassy or consulate without permission.
Oh.
An attack on an embassy is designated as an attack on the country it represents. So the land beneath the US Embassy in London remains part of the UK.
See, I just learned something. I did not know that attack on an embassy is an attack on the country that embassy represents. They say you're never too old to learn. I did not know that. How? So the land is not the US. It is British land. So they're still governed by the laws and rules of the country. Isn't that something? All right, let's continue. I'm learning today.
The JFK Memorial, therefore, at Runnymede is uniquely different from a US diplomatic post or a military base, because the land it stands upon has been gifted in perpetuity to the United States, becoming its sovereign territory.
Oh.
The JFK Memorial is approached up a steep path through a woodland. The pathway constructed out of 60,000 granite sets or small cut stones, representing a huge crowd of people. There then follow 50 steps, one for each U.S. state, that curve up the hillside through the trees to the monument itself.
Wow.
The monument is a 7-ton block of Portland stone, a limestone dating from the Jurassic period.
Ooh.
This represents the weight of history that permeates the whole acre. Inscribed upon the face is a dedication to President Kennedy and an excerpt from his famous inauguration speech of 1961.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Like I said earlier on, I don't know much about JFK, but I love what I just heard. I don't know him, but based on how he speaks and the words that I just heard from his speech, I love this man. I love who he was. And I can see where they said earlier, if he was still alive, America would have had a different turn. You understand? Or his brother, based on how. So you can tell from, they say, birds of a feather flock together. So you can tell the kind of person he and his brother was. And I didn't even know that he had a brother that was also assassinated. That's news to me too. Like I said, I don't really know U.S. history. I'm living here, but I don't know U.S. history like that either. So that to me is just something.
Front of the
right
stone,
there.
the thick branch of a hawthorn tree extends over the path, forcing visitors to slightly bow down. The designer of the memorial, Sir George Jellicoe, chose the hawthorn to represent Kennedy's Catholicism, and behind the hawthorn stands an American scarlet oak that turns a beautiful color in the autumn, or the fall, as the Americans call it, the time when the president was assassinated. Beyond the memorial block is a stone path leading to the seats of contemplation, 2 stone benches that give the seated a view over to where the original Magna Carta was agreed to in 1215. The memorial was unveiled in 1965 by the Queen, the Prime Minister, and Jacqueline Kennedy. The memorial and its acre of land, though belonging to the United States, is administered by the Kennedy Memorial Trust, the U.S. ambassador being one of the trustees, and actually maintained by English Heritage. It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is completely free to visit. So there you are, the only piece of England that belongs to America, a beautiful and simple memorial set in the landscape where modern democracy and freedoms had their beginnings. A memorial to one of the greatest advocates of democracy and freedom in history.
For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's futures.
Yep.
And we are all mortal.
Can you imagine that? That was beautifully said. We all breathe the same air. We all bleed the same way. I'm putting my part in it, but we all love our children. You understand me? We all want the best for our children's future. Let me know in the comment section a little about JFK. I'm asking you guys because I don't know much. I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know anything, to be honest. Understand about that? I don't know much. But this was enlightening just to hear, kind of refreshing to hear about, just a little about who he was and what was gifted to him and how the world at large saw him. You understand? Because back then you didn't even have TV and much, like the internet, access to the internet like that. But to see publishing every newspaper that everywhere is mourning him, you can tell that he was loved. And based on how he speak from just the little tips, snippets of what I heard from his speech, showed that he had America's best interest at heart, and not just America, the world at large. And we would be in it would be a total different setting than what it was. Than what it is. Than what it was. Interesting video. Don't forget to go in the comment section, tell me your thoughts. And if there's any other video like this that you'd like me to check out, I'll be more than happy to do so. Because the topic threw me off. I'm like, visit America without leaving Britain? Didn't make any sense to me. But now it makes total sense. And then to know that the tree that is there, like a canopy, so you have to bow to go on. Isn't that something? Wow. Sad that he was assassinated. I'm telling you. Ugh. It's the Island Girl, and I'm running out of here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this video. Go in the comment section. Tell me what you'd like me to react to next, because it will be done. Love you guys, and I'll definitely catch you guys in another video.